So like talking about rejections, like how do you handle rejections? Like do you like sunk in for a few days and then get back at it, or like shrug it off and like the next day you keep going? So how do you handle them?
Um, so since I've been through once during my undergrad,
Yeah,
right, I know that rejections don't really matter because ultimately it's all about learning from those rejections. Every interview that I've given, I've been rejected from two companies so far after the interviews, and honestly, th- I really learned where my gaps were, and I've tried to work on them, and that those those interviews have actually helped me with other interviews. You know, also like my sister, she right now is in her undergrad, so she went through a similar phase just last year while
yeah,
she was applying for internships. So that again, sort of helped me revisit that phase
hmm,
and understand
yeah.
that yeah, it's fine. Rejections will happen. It's all about keeping your on just improving yourself. Just do that.
Got it. Yeah. So like you are studying at Columbia. So like if anyone wants to like get into Columbia, so is there a specific profile they're looking at? Because I myself applied to MDS and Columbia but didn't get
Hmm.
in. So like is there
Okay.
something they are looking at which you find in your application which like made a positive impact when applying to
Mm-hmm.
Columbia?
So now again, this is not going to be something official, but something that I've observed
Yeah.
after coming here.
Yeah.
Most of my I don't really know any of my friends who have scored lower than 9 GPA
Okay.
until unless they're from IIT.
Okay.
So if people are from IITs, I know some of them who have scored 8.5, 8.6, 8, even 8,
Yeah.
and they are here. But non-IITians, including people from DTU or whatever state college you might want to add in here,
Yeah.
none of them have scored less than 9 GPA. In
Okay.
fact, to be honest, I think I'm the lowest non-IITian with the lowest GPA. My GPA is exactly 9,
Okay.
9.03. I have not found anyone who has scored lower than me in the undergrad. So that's the first thing.
Okay.
Secondly, they really look forward to understand whether you will be able to cope up with the academic rigor at Columbia.
Okay.
Because unlike most colleges, this is something again I've understood by talking to my friends that I have more subjects as compared to my other friends,
Yeah.
and the course load is actually much greater than a few
Yep.
other colleges. So they do look at that whether you have studied statistics and probability, and if you have had a mathematically heavy background already or not.
Yeah.
Because if that's not the case, then they feel that you might not be able to cope up with the studies.
Yeah.
So these are the two things I would say. So yeah, if someone is applying right now, GPA is something that matters. That's what I've observed. And the other two things that they look at is whether you have good enough mathematical background, and whether you have some, I would say, decent programming background as well. Whether you know how to code in Python or R, at least one of those.
Okay.
That's what they look at.
So do they look
So
at
these three
GRE
things.
scores also? Like because I've seen a lot of people like 320, 325 like easily get in. So like do these scores
Two,
matters, or like is it a like filtering criteria?
I don't think so. I don't think so. So last year, I mean, if you remember, I don't know about this year, but last year GRE was optional.
Okay.
So many people did not give GRE at all.
Okay.
I gave my GRE back in 2018 while in college, so I did submit my score, but I don't think it really mattered.
Okay.
And most of the universities, from what I know, they have done away with GRE this year, including UC Berkeley as well. So I don't really think GRE matters.
But like
But if you're submitting a score,
yeah, go
I
ahead.
think quant might matter.
Yeah.
If they have to really filter you out on the basis of GRE, quant is something you should focus on. And anything below 169, especially for Indians,
Yeah. Yeah.
might be problematic.
Yeah. Like have you seen people like not giving GRE? Because I personally haven't seen like people, if there is optional GRE
Oh,
and they
many.
don't apply for the GRE part and they get in. I haven't seen people have like do you
I
have?
know many. I know. Yeah, yeah, many friends of mine, they have not given GRE last year,
Oh, okay.
and they applied directly. Yeah.
That's like really surprising because I was thinking that optional is just a criteria that, but they will still look at GRE scores because the top applicants will still give the GRE and will still submit the scores.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, I understand why you're saying that, and I thought that, but I know, like, many of my roommates, they did not give GRE.
Okay.
So I know many people who did not give their GRE, who are in Colombia right now. Many.
Okay, great. So, like, how is the program
Yeah.
structure at Columbia? Because, like, first of all, like, let me give my opinion on UCI MDS. Like, we are the first batch right
Uh-huh.
now, and it just launched like last year. So, like, the
Okay.
course structure is like pretty good, but they don't allow us to like take courses. So like there's a fixed curriculum and you just have to take them. So I think that's the
Oh,
negative
okay.
part, when you don't want to
Got
study
it.
some subject and you have to study. So I
You
think
have to
that's
study.
the only
Yeah.
negative which I can find out like doing first quarter here. And yeah, the second one would be like career phase, because like we had two career phase and like not a lot of good companies came into this, so we have to like do our own research
Mhm.
and start from zero
Got
and
it.
go to LinkedIn and reach out to people. So I think these two are the negatives which I found. Like
Got it.
what do you think about the MDS at Columbia? Like is there any
Colombia.
downsides?
So, just talking about these 2 points that you raised right now, I would say Colombia does better.
Okay.
So, we have 9 subjects that we need to take during our curriculum or
Okay.
during our entire program. 6 are core courses that are like mandatory, and 3 are electives.
Okay.
But even those 6 courses, the core courses, they could be waived off if you have studied them in undergrad, or if
Okay.
you can show some sort of learning through your work experience, you can
Okay.
waive them off easily.
Okay.
I myself waived off a few subjects this semester.
But you can't change them, right?
We can change them. So basically, so for example, I waived off algorithms and data structures.
Yeah, similar.
It was a core subject for data
Yeah.
science, and instead I took neural networks and deep learning this semester.
Okay.
You can.
Okay.
Also, it's not really necessary that you really take a course instead of an elective. You can do some research work under a professor, and that would be counted towards your credits as well.
Oh,
So that
okay.
way, it's very flexible.
Got it.
And that was one of the most important things I wrote down in my SOP as well, like why Columbia.
Okay.
Talking about career fair, same here. We have had 2 career fairs. One was for like everyone in the engineering school, and one was specifically for data science students.
Okay.
From as per my knowledge, we will be having another career fair. I think 2 more career fairs starting in Feb or March, something like that.
So like do all the top
About the
companies
type of
come in?
companies.
So like fan companies, like do they come in?
Okay, so many top companies came in.
Okay.
If I'm to talk about FANG, I know Amazon came in,
Okay.
Facebook came in, Netflix did not, Google did not. So the thing is, majorly companies based in New York, they like to come to Columbia.
Yeah.
And every major company you can think of, JP Morgan and Morgan Stanley, BCG, many private equity funds, many
Yeah.
investment firms, many banking firms, they all came in. Many startups came in. So I would say that the companies, they were much more indexed towards being in the northeast region of USA than in California.
Okay.
There were certain startups and companies from California as well. I think Oracle was there, MongoDB was there in my career fair. But yeah, it's slightly more indexed towards northeast.
Okay.
About any downsides, the only downside I feel is that I really found the curriculum to be very hectic this semester.
Yeah.
In the
Yeah.
sense that I couldn't find time to do anything else at all.
Like are you
So
doing a
that
part-time job?
Sort of. I'll talk about it later. Maybe
Okay.
I'll be taking a job this semester. So the
Okay.
thing is, it was too much in the very first semester, and I was trying to adjust myself to how Columbia and New York is.
Yeah.
I decided to give myself some break this semester, and instead I got a fellowship. It's different. I think we can talk about it in another question.
Sure.
So I was doing some sort of a job already, but not a proper RA-ship or TA-ship, if that's what you're
Okay.
thinking.
Yeah.
So the course curriculum, I found it to be a bit too much, and it sort of was creating problems for me while I was trying to study for internships. I was trying to apply for internships. That's the only downside I would say. But I
Okay.
think now, having gone through the first semester, I understand what the pattern is like. I understand the system better. So hopefully the spring semester, it would not be that problematic.
Yeah. So
And also,
yeah.
the last semester, the third semester. So for those who don't know, Columbia is only the MSDS program at Columbia, it only lasts for 3 semesters.
Oh, okay.
So in our third semester, we only have one subject and one capstone project, and that's it. Yeah. So hopefully I'm sure third semester would be much lighter as
Yeah.
compared to the first semester. So yeah,
So like it's only a
that's
3
pretty
semester.
much it.
Yeah. Because we have a quarter
Only for 3
system,
semesters.
and like quarter system is like very
Uh-huh.
very hectic, because 6 months into like 3 months, and like
Oh yeah.
yeah, because UCI has a
And how
quarter
many
system,
courses do you have in a quarter?
3 to 4.
3 to 4.
Yeah.
Oh damn.
Yeah, like it's very very
That's a
hectic
lot.
right now, because like we can't do part-time jobs because you can't even study. for these 3 courses enough,
Uh,
because we study
yeah,
in January, February, March 12 we have an exam, then study 2 months, and we have another exam. So like it's very very hectic. I think
I
all the
understand.
UCs have quarter system, so you are in a good space like
Uh,
doing the semester system. So